Welcome back to Currency Highlights with Massabesic Gold and Silver. Today I have a whole stack of notes that I'm getting ready to send off to PMG, so I hope you stick around and maybe even guess the grade a little bit. I'm Dean with Massabesic Gold and Silver. Thank you so much for stopping in and checking out my channel today. Out of all the channels on YouTube, you decided to see what I had to offer, which makes me extremely happy, and I hope you put lots in the comments letting me know what you think of this video and other videos I have produced. So it is the end of August, really almost the start of September 2024, and I'm getting ready to send all of these notes off to Dustin Whitty, who is then going to send them on to PMG for me. So let's start with this nice $2 bill. This is a Series 2003A FRN on a $2 bill. It has a really nice repeater serial number here, 07000700. Just a really nice example. I picked this up really cheap on eBay. It was about $38, I think, with shipping. This note, I hope, will come back a fairly high grade. I'm hoping for a 64, 65. That would be really nice. I really think it could be a nice 64, so that's where I'm going to probably put my guess. 64 EPQ, I would say. I do have another $2 here. Let me see here. This $2, though, is already graded by PCGS Currency. I picked this up on Heritage Auction, and the grade is a 64 EPQ on this Series 2009. I think it's going to probably grade the same. It is really cool. It is a true radar. That is the prefix and suffix letters match on either end, so it is a true radar, A00700700A, forwards and backwards. The back of this note looks really nice, so I'm hoping for another 64, if not maybe even an upgrade to a 65. Here's another FRN I picked up. This is a Series 2017. You can see here there are quite a bit of folds and handling, but this is a great serial number. It is a radar, and it's on a star note. Really quite nice. This, I don't know what it will really grade at. If I had to guess, it's going to probably be in that very fine range, maybe a 25. I don't think it's going to reach 30 because there's just too many folds. You can see a horizontal fold here and a vertical fold as well. Actually, there's a lot more folds than that. So if I had to guess, I'm not really great at grading currency, but if I had to guess, I'm going to say a VF25, maybe even get that EPQ. We'll see. But I do like that note. It's a really nice fancy serial number. Here's my silver certificate. You've seen this note before in my videos. I really like this repeater on a Series 1957. I'm hoping for a 65 EPQ on this note. I paid about $45 for this with shipping, and I just think it's really an exquisite note, really a premium example, so I'm hoping, like I said, for a high grade on that. A nice 65 would be awesome. Here's another silver certificate. This one is a 1928A series, and it is a radar. I think this note will probably grade in that fine 15, maybe if I'm lucky a 20, but I think it's going to probably come back a fine 15. It's a really nice looking note. I don't see any tears or pinholes, but there are a lot of creases, a lot of folds, a lot of dirt. So we'll see what the graders have to say, but I think it's just so cool that it has this radar serial number, because you just don't see them all the time on these old funny backs, and so it's just really cool to see. But as I'm looking at it here, I don't see any pinholes, I don't see any tears. It looks like a great note, so thank you, Dustin, for passing this on to me. I do have another silver certificate here. This time it is a star note on a Series 1934. Again, this is just a really nice note. I picked this up from a local dealer for relatively inexpensive. The grade he had on it was a VF. So I think it will probably come back in that range, maybe a VF20, or maybe even a 25 if I'm lucky. The funny backs, though, are just so cool. I really enjoy these notes, and I was able to put together a nice little collection for myself. So I hope that does come back at 25. Okay, so I've got some national banknotes to show you now. Here's a Type 1 $5. This is from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. It's got a repeater serial number, 004004. I really like that it's a fancy. I really like that it's a Bible name, and I really like the portrait of Lincoln. The corner here is going to affect the grade. Well, I shouldn't say the grade so much. There will be a note. I think that this note is a nice looking note. I think it'll probably get that VF25 maybe. But you can see this staining or ink or whatever it is. It's on both sides. of the paper. So I'm not really sure. It's just a great looking note overall, though. Really nice portrait of Lincoln, but I think it's going to be a VF25 with a note from PMG. But look at that portrait. Really, really nice on this Type 1 $5. I do have some more. This is a Type 1 $5 from the Wilton National Bank. Wilton is where I grew up, and this bank is a bank that I've been collecting for a while. I think this is going to be a VF20 on this note. Just because of just how it looks like. You got a lot of folds. There's just a lot of folds. Some dirt, a lot of circulation of this note. I don't see any pinholes. I don't see any tears though. So it's an intact note. So that's why I'm pretty confident it's going to be a VF25. A VF20, I should say. I would love a 25 in this note, but I don't think that's going to happen. But you never know. But it is a really nice example of a Type 1 $5 National. Here's a Type 1 $10 National. I think this is going to come back a straight VF25. I think this is just a really nice example. You can see a strong horizontal crease and vertical crease. And then, of course, there's a lot of folds here and there. But overall, it's a really nice, clean-looking $10 National on a Type 1. And, of course, Wilton National Bank. I grew up in Wilton, New Hampshire. I used to go to this bank as a child. So it's one of the reasons why I collect these. So I really want to get them graded. I got another National here, another Wilton National on a 10. This is also a Type 1. I think this is going to be a VF25, but it might have a note of maybe rust on the back for the back. I'll show you here. I want to show you here on the reverse, but I just want to take a good look at the face here. But right above the Treasury building here, there's some spots. It looks like it could be rust. I could be wrong. I thought maybe that's where a paperclip was, but it could be just dirt. We'll have to see what the PMG graders think of it, but it is a nice example on a Type 1 National. I do have another $10 National. This time it is a Type 2, also from the Wilton National Bank. I think this one is probably going to be grading out as a VF20. The reason why I think that is because it just doesn't look as clean as the other notes. You can see multiple creases on the vertical and also on the horizontal, and then a lot of folds here and there and really everywhere. But still, I didn't have a Type 2 in my collection, so I'm really glad that I was able to pick up that note. All right, last but not least, I have a 1917 legal tender. This is the Sawhorse note. This is just a really great looking note. The vignette looks really nice. The portrait of Washington looks fantastic. The reverse here is awesome. You get that really nice looking sawhorse there, or at least that's what people thought it looked like, so that's why they called it or nicknamed it the Sawhorse note. I'm hoping for an XF40 grade on this because that's really what I paid for it, was right in that XF, actually just under. So I'm hoping it'll come back a XF40, or I guess I should say I really need it to come back an XF40. I don't think it'll be EPQ or anything like that, but like I said, my guess is an XF40. I'd love to see a 45, but I just don't think that's going to happen. All right, so my goal is to film this video now, which I have done. I'm probably going to release it on a Wednesday, and then I will release the reveal video on the Friday. So I hope you put in your guesses on these notes. I know I kind of went through them fast, but it's for fun. Feel free to go back and watch. I'd love to see some of your guesses here. And of course, like I said, the reveal video will come out 2 days later, and we'll go through all these notes again, but they'll all be fresh back from PMG. All right, everybody, thanks for watching, and until we meet again, stay safe and continue to enjoy.